So it is now December 14. I just received a call from my mother saying that I should stop talking about my truth. I should do some volunteering for animals instead. As a survivor of 24/7 microscopic illegal surveillance, abuse, electronic torture, electroshock on my ears, on my entire body, having to hide, having to endure this activated group of people who rotate and take shift. They are, imagine, perverted narcissistic, that you confront them and you face them, you show them all of the receipt, the proof. They're not listening to you. They're just looking for the next line to say. They don't care about what you say. They are in a state of survival. They lived only for themselves. I've been called a narcissistic before. And this is what you have to be. You need to be a narcissistic. But you gotta be one with a heart, one with empathy. Because if you're not a narcissistic person, and if you're not absorbed and in love with yourself, it's gonna be hard for you to live in this society of comparison, of survival, of technology, of demonic forces coming on your shoulder and trying to affect the perception that you have of yourself. It's gonna be very hard to live in this world that we live in. So you gotta be like that, full of yourself. But you gotta be there for others. You gotta be open-minded. You gotta be giving love and light, and also listen to other people. And so I had to sing in the shower today. I had to hide and close the light in my house. I had to press pause and not post some of my videos because I have hacking in my phone. They targeted my job multiple times for 5 years, making it a problem that I have independence and that I do have a job that I love. Those activations are very hard and very violent, and probably on the highest level that you could imagine. And that's why I continue to be very proud, because I continue to transmute their violence, transmute everything that they do, and keep going where I can have help, where I can be feeling better about myself, where people can push me in the right direction, where they can bring the best out of me, where they can elevate and uplift me. Because in my particular case of targeting, you can't be alone. You really do have to be with someone, and at the same time, you can't be desperate and be with a puppet. You gotta be with someone that is not entering and participating in the collective rape and abuse. So dating is not very easy because they do humiliation rituals. They will use the other one that you will start to appreciate or to like, they will do everything that they can to bring that person into the collective rape, slowly but surely. um, and so you gotta be patient when it comes to love, and still trust and still have your heart wide open. And this is what I do. I try to have friends or people that have a good energy. I take my time, and now I'm able to recognize more energy of other people. Unfortunately, like, I would want to rest and have people close to me that support my dreams, and support what I do, but it's not the case. So I gotta continue on my own most of the time if my relationship doesn't work. I have been never scared of leaving my ex relationship in the past. And that's what I'm going to continue to do. I'm very proud that I chose myself over the last years. The devil itself was like, you should have stayed with that person in Miami. You should have stayed with that person. You would have that much of that. You would have that much. You would have been richer. I mean, you could have had that. You could have more security, more safety. But where there's no love, I suffocate, and it's empty, and it's just like hell. So that doesn't work for me. I left money on the table. I refuse to be like someone, an object that you monetize. So I've been trying to be very selective and do as much as I can, because obviously you can always have more. And do we actually find the 100% perfect fit for us always? Not always. And sometimes it takes time. You gotta be patient, and you gotta also go out there to find it. Because if you stay in your house and you wait for your next husband to come, like it happened to my mother, I take her as an example. My parents divorced, I was 8 years old, and I was able to observe, and actually someone told me that I can learn the most out of observing other people. And I really corrected myself a lot from looking at other people. I was like, oh, I don't like how they act right now. And I was able to see myself through their actions. So my mother, for example, the devil itself, I talk about that in my book also, A Little Girl and the Yellow Bus. How I understand her now for everything that she had to everything that she went through. And my emotional intelligence, my awakening, my reprogrammation makes me able to do that. Because in the past, I would have get mad, I would have reacted, I would have done a lot of things. And the goal, again, disclaimer, it's not to not react. You are allowed to react. You're allowed to get mad. You're allowed to swear. You're allowed to do all of this. You are allowed to cry and to let it out of you. It's not a competition to stay silent. This is the old way of functioning, where they would trap their little victim, their little target, so they have all of those suffering stuck inside of them. You gotta let it out, just not on other people. You cannot use other people as punching bag. You cannot use other people like that. This is what happened to me in my childhood. I was the punching bag of some family members in my family, and I let go of all of that during my awakening, and that's why I'm so peaceful today. Even though I have this targeting on me, I am 1,000,000,000% in control. And this is worth a lot. And that's why I'm so confident too when it comes to relationship, when it comes to, because I know my worth, I know what I'm bringing. And this stability that I have, this peace, this inner work that I did is worth something. I've seen the devil doesn't like that I talk about this right now. Targeting in my throat chakra. So yeah, I've seen other girls acting up and being chaotic and getting mad for no reason. And I'm so in control. Like, it's not that nothing makes me react. I can get mad too, it's normal. But I'm very proud of that, of my inner peace, my inner work. And so today my mother called me, and I already know that it's not really coming from her, and that it's the same force that I've been trying to destroy me going through her all my life. And they felt big time. And that masculine energy going through her, possessing her body. Well, I forgive her today because of that, because I am able to see that force going through her. That force that goes from one body to the other, from one generation to the other. I don't know if it was there before, in the time of my grandfather. I'm not sure how long that entity has been there for. I don't know exactly how it works, but I know that it was there with my mother. I'm not trying to excuse nothing, but with everything that I went through and experienced the last 5 years, I'm able to be a lot more forgiving, a lot more aware of what's happening. And this is why I come up with those conclusions. So my own mother called me after 5 years of targeting. By the way, I cut my thumbs also this week. How cute is this little plaster with little starfish and little octopus, dolphins. Anyways, so after 5 years of targeting, she once told me also, because what I've noticed during my awakening is that at some point it's like in one day, in the same cycle that repeats itself, and I've noticed the same when I was in Asia too, one day out of nowhere, it's like if they wipe out a group of people, like a zombie state, in trance-like state, and then bang, they switch the energy and it becomes so violent, so possessed, so weird, so awkward. And I just I can't really do much other than listening and stay connected to myself and just pretend that everything is normal. But I'm kind of forced to kind of see it all. And so same thing happened in 2021. The only difference is that I had no information. I have been studying for 5 years now, studying terrorism, studying other association, studying remote crimes, studying illegal surveillance. So I do have a lot of knowledge on that. I've been doing a lot of videos about this, putting a lot of time into it. And more than that, they activated a big group of people against me. And I was able to scroll on my feed 5 years ago and see little weird posts coming out as if someone was looking out to have a bigger group of people to do bad things or to enter darkness or to do, and that's, I think that's what has been happening. Is it's like if they are wiping out as much people as possible, gathering people together so they could target one person. And this is how we could explain like suicides, or like, for example, one person kills their entire family in one day. We would explain it by body possession. So someone, let's say, that is remotely playing with human beings, with their technology, with their tools, with their radio frequencies, just like McGill University and other news, they are now exposing, like McGill University came out that they're doing experimentation in the minds of people illegally. There's other news, like CBC News, that came out with other truth about targeting targeted individuals program. Also, when I was in the United States, in Miami with my friends, they opened another news channel that I forgot the name about, talking about Havana syndrome, about a lot of things that we're not able to explain. So I'm truly a living proof of everything. And my mother 5 years ago, basically, she called me and she's like, and before that, I could see like all of the people talking in robotic ways, wanting to control me, to possess me. This is really what I can notice from when they put them in a trance-like state. So she called me and she's like, Amelia, like 5 years ago, you're never gonna be an influencer. You're never gonna be that. My parents, my father, my brothers, like people, they were calling me, they were like telling me, just come back in Canada, Amelia, and get the vaccine. They were all telling me to get the vaccination and to come back. And I had no money at some point in Miami. I was asking my dad, I was like I will not be able to hold for so long until like I met Joseph, my ex. He really changed my life a lot, and also my other friends who helped me also there for sure. I did stay at my friend's place for a few months in Miami because previously from that there was the COVID and my job was targeted too. So my finances were very chaotic. I had some debt too, and running away from COVID vaccination and everything, I was having also this targeting, the same that I have right now. So yeah, I kept on continuing to be an influencer and to try to be one. But even my social media, they got censored, they got reported. I started to have my social media very affected by certain videos that I was doing. And one of the series that I started in the Army of Angels, my first social media on TikTok that I started 5 years ago, 6 years ago maybe. I started to talk about surviving being a targeted individual, who got a lot more popular than I thought. And so I decided to create another one, an association this time, to really unite targeted individuals together. And this is what I'm continuing today. I'm gonna have my first podcast on Tuesday with someone from the United States who is targeted on her genitals, and she received a lot of targeting. And my mother calls me today, the same one who told me I'm never gonna be an influencer. She's like, you should just do some volunteers and help animals. And I'm like, okay, but I didn't eat animals for 10 years. I done my part. I'm targeted every day. I need to write my book. I need to do my association, podcast. I have so much things, too many things to do. I have to survive the targeting, the hacking they do on my phone. And she talks to me like this and she tells me that. And I'm not even mad, because I know this is, again, not our fault. I know this is coming from something else. And she's like, just stop your association. Stop talking about what you're going through. Just let the police handle everything. And I'm like, but I went to denounce this group of people 5 years ago, and they were not aware of nothing. They were not able to do nothing. We don't sit in the news, we don't see nothing being built, and I'm like, the people that will change things are victims, are those behind associations. And so I told her, I'm not gonna stop. They took my entire life 5 years ago. They took everything from me. I have my soul, I have my health, I have everything that I am, I have God walking with me. But they took my job, they started to target my health, my body, my mind, the people around me, affecting my relationships too. They are taking a lot. They stole a lot from me. If I look back to my entire life, even before too. So I was like, I'm not gonna stay a victim. I'm gonna talk about it. There's no way that I will stop. And this was my confirmation today to continue exposing and denouncing, and to maybe not see my family as much for a while, even though I love them so much. But unfortunately, they're not the most supportive when it comes to standing up for justice, standing up for my rights and liberties. It could have been different. Like, it could have been that I was born in a family in politics, and that they really are crazy about standing up for justice and freedom, but it's not the case. I was born where I was born. I really love my family for real. I see them sometimes, once in a while, but there's no one that will come in the way of my mission, of my purpose. This purpose is bigger than my life, and I will not stop to denounce and to save animals, this planet, other people that are voiceless, that are targeted too, because this is inhuman torture. This is the biggest genocide that you could ever imagine, and it's happening today. And it has been happening the last hundreds of years, the last trillions of years. All of my ancestors and people who prayed to understand, they were praying to understand what was happening with them. They were reaching the point of suiciding themselves. They were reaching the point of having a heart attack, a sudden death. And all of the prayers that I did for 5 years, because I trained myself to do prayers too. And I'm very good at praying, at commanding, at sending order in this universe, in this world, into manifesting, into transmuting, into reprogramming. And this is everything that I'm passionate about now. So there's no one that will be able to interfere with that or to stop me. And you can compare me to whoever you want. I actually always dreamed to be the age that I am today. And I'm gonna try to very appreciate every single moment and appreciate everything that I am, every year, every minute. But this is what I am now. Advocating for the world, injustice, doing podcasts, vlogging, expressing, using my voice, being a spiritual doctor, a life coach, a mother of a freedom movement, the Army of Angels United, a creator. I am also fearless. I am enlightened, awakened. I see through the illusion. I see things for what they are now. And I also forgive everyone, because I know manipulation. I know remote crimes. I know what they do and how they're able to manipulate people like puppets. So I forgive people. But I'm not gonna stop doing what I do best. I have been training myself for 5 years now. Since 2020, to receive channel messages, to journal, to be connected to my heart, to pray, to fast, also to slay demons. I'm also a demon slayer. I've learned how to transmute violence, pain. You see, the devil didn't like that I just said that. I got it targeting on my throat. So I've been transmuting like the magician that I am, because there's a lot of magic inside of me. I am magic. I'm a magician. And I've been transmuting pain, violence, collective abuse, electronic harassment, hacking, illegal surveillance, I think I said it, into magic, into light, into love, into the highest form of vibrational energy that exists. And it's not perfect, and I'm not meant to be perfect. And so, but I'm very proud, very, very proud of me, because I can see that I am like really in peace. and I feel very secure too, very protected too. And I know that now my help is truly needed. I found my place, I found my future work, I have my plan all established in front of me, and very proud of myself, and I feel deserving of billions of dollars. I feel deserving of everything now. I feel deserving of the complete love. I feel deserving of everything. And I understand also today that I had to become that person first in order to attract that person and have this love that I manifested. I manifested that love 5 years ago as I was starting to channel my first messages with spirit. And in order to have this real love, everything that you want, you gotta first be truly who you are. You gotta be your authentic self. You gotta remove all of the layers that you were once and remove this mask and become exactly who you are as a person, exactly what you want to be. And this is what I've become more, and I'm very happy about it. And again, there's no perfection. So yeah. And I forgot to mention, I'm also a spiritual porn star. I've learned to deal with it now, and that's okay. I'm very sexual, and I'm proud to be. And I actually wrote a text. Maybe I should read it to you. Okay, let's read something for you. So I'm gonna read a text that I wrote this morning, journaling in the spa. So a trick also of mine is that, so this is a book that my mother got me, Maintenant ou Jamais. So this means it's now or never. So I always love to do those famous little drawings, and you know what I've understood is that some symbols and some lines that you could do can be also protection, can be energy too, and a lot of things. So I let just myself go, and of course I have those psychic turbulations, attacks, spiritual warfare coming around me, because the targeting for me started in my first drawing that I did in 2021, connected to spirit, and since then they have been trying to interfere, so I never draw. So I'm gonna actually tell you what I wrote. This was in French. Okay, so I was starting to talk about my book, A Little Girl Behind a Yellow Bus. Interruption devil up my head, screaming in my ears. And it's like, Amelia, understand that we don't care about your life. People don't care. So basically, they assume that I think too highly of myself and that I would believe I'm the best. Like, example saying I'm sexual when I drink, or I'm a sexual person. Or I awakened and I had a lot of spiritual experiences. Proud and happy to be sexual and to have experienced spiritual things that are very special for me, because people would be like, you're not the only one I know. Amelia, you're not like the only one who is sexual. Don't think so highly of yourself, Amelia. There's nothing special about that. Amelia, all of your spiritual experiences they're not so special. Like, other people have been through them too. So basically diminishing how I feel and comparing to others. And I'm like, the equation, is there others in the equation? When I said, I'm proud to be sexual as a person. When I said, I'm proud to have experienced spiritual experiences. Why people feel threatened by that? Why they're not just happy? They're like, whoa, that's cool. It looks like you're happy that you had those experiences. It looks like you're proud that you love sex or that you're a sexual person. So is there other person in the equations? When I talk about I experience, I love, I'm proud, I am. I don't think there's other people in the equation. But anyways, did the devil went through other vessel because he was scared that I would be sexual as liberation, as power? That he activated people to target my insecurity, because my insecurities, because I love myself too much, and because I deactivate stress and people affecting my happiness. Because comparison and what others don't affect. Because I'm because I look at others knowing that they are happy in their own self, in their own life. I don't compare myself. And the devil goes and be like, look at her, look at him, younger, more beautiful. Look, she's pregnant. Look, she's not targeted. Look what they have is worth more than you. Look at the mess in your place. Look at your finances. See, the devil is proud because he sees all of the targeting, sleepless night, intervention, manipulation, electroshock, violence, targeting of your works. How ironic. Hypocrite, proud of his rape and attacks, and comes to admire the result of his attacks. And he's disappointed. He's disappointed because now you see clear. You see beyond the illusions. Worth billions of dollars. Master manipulation. You see things for what they are. The auto-sabotage. The thought, dialect scenarios from the Hell's Kitchen don't work on you no more. The traps, addictions are now life lessons. The desperation that they try to manifest in their corrupted world doesn't work. Now you are a creator, unpredictable, a demon slayer, unstoppable, a spiritual doctor, fearless, an artist, awakened, a runner, enlightened, a masterpiece, free to be whatever you want to be. Dismantling criminal organizations. And a superhero and a superstar. Also infinite. So, with that being said, I was able to see the spirit that was going through my mother when I was a kid. The same one that would tell me that I was crying for no reason. The same one that was telling me that I was crying for no reason. You know how I came up to that conclusion? I was in Asia doing my yoga, And I was in that room crying and manifesting billions of dollars. And then, oh yeah, and then there's those demonic forces. A masculine energy was like, don't do too much, Amelia. Like if what I was doing was acting like an actress, projections of all of what they are, illusionists, making up and doing all of those orchestrations around me and in my life. Because some people, they do wear a mask in society. They're not who they are truly. And more than that, some of them are truly actors for real, like corrupted. And some of them are serial killers too, infiltrated. If you think that everyone is normal in society, there's all type of different people. So this took me back to when I was a child in my room, and when my mother had body possessions, demonic possessions, and then she would tell me like, Amelia, stop crying for no reason. So this is what I had to deal with, and this is still what I deal with. They don't understand how I'm excited about waking up and doing podcasts and getting ready and working on my association. They don't understand where my strength is coming from. They don't understand the excitement that I can still have of this life. They don't understand how my perception of myself is not able to be affected. They don't understand why my family, my past lovers are not able to stop me from realizing my mission and building my empire. Because I am really duality. I have a lot of softness, but I have a lot of strong energy, masculine energy. I have a lot of force inside of me too. I'm not just one thing. And when I speak, I often really talk about the negative things, about very hard and big subject like dark web, like human trafficking, like a lot of things like that. But I also talk about beautiful things, magical things about, and this is what some people have been able to observe. And also some people told me, Amelia, and I'm gonna finish with that. That's why also I'm very confident as a person. They're like, Amelia. Actually, it's my little brother that told me that one day. It was like, I thought you were crazy, but now I understand you're like the least crazy of all of the crazy girl. Because if he has been facing and meeting crazy people, and he told me, you're probably the less crazy of all of the crazy girls in this world. And he's probably right. But I'm also very crazy too, to think that I can change the world. And when you tell me it's impossible, I will tell you it is possible. Because why not? Why not? And I look up to a lot of businesses that crashed, a lot of people that had no one believing in them. They had only themselves believing in them. I have my vision, and I'm never gonna stop believing in it. I'm never gonna stop to work towards that and making it happen. So I love you. Bye.